Are we ready to red pill him?
Yeah, we got it.
All right, let's go, Cracker.
Nah, there's just this weird thread that's going around with all these protests. So basically, what people are saying is that the websites.
Real quick. Let me just preface.
I swear to you, I stopped listening as soon as he started talking. I swear to God.
I had to step in.
I swear to God. If you had a close up on my eye, I was looking here.
I had to step in.
Thinking about.
I was like, he channeled Eddin right now.
Bro, it's his mic, dude.
It's Eddin's mic.
Bro, it smells like taquitos. I'm just saying.
Son,
Yeah,
gave you that Corona, yo.
So here's the thing, right? All these protests popped off at the same time, right? Around the same time, right? You had one happen in Minnesota, one happened in Virginia, one happened in Pennsylvania,
Michigan.
one happened in Michigan, and I think Florida, whatever, like that, right? So it just so happened that all these protests, and the protests are against the shelter in place. They pop off in these different states. Now, information some guy researches on Reddit, he finds out that the websites for all these protests, right? Mark?
Yep.
So the websites for all these protests, what happened?
They were all registered at like within 5 minutes of each other to like one person in Florida.
So if you go by how the websites were registered, one might believe that these were not unique acts by individual people in these states, but rather a single actor or a single group that is manipulating people into thinking that they should protest. Is that right?
Absolutely believe this.
100%. No, we're going to go further. Now,
that's where you're going to lose me.
What are they saying?
I said I believe you, and then you were like, you literally said it like, I'm about to lose you. No, we're going to go further.
So here's the thing that's interesting. Who is the group that's doing it, right? The only reason we didn't do like a longer piece about this is because we don't know who the group is doing it. Right now, it looks as if, Mark.
So there's like all like these other like different causal connective points. So like all the Facebook groups have the same descriptions. Like they were all started at the same time, all that shit. But there was one like loose connection to like Betsy DeVos.
What did you say? Causal connections? That shit sounded beautiful, yo.
That
shit was poetic. What'd you fucking say, yo?
Motherfucker talking like Kim Jong-un over here. No talk, man.
Son.
Lead us, bro.
Hey, dictate me.
Bro, I'll give you my dictate.
That's how you got them eyes. Some grandma.
Some dictator.
But
yeah, basically just like...
so all the Facebook groups that represent these things that should be independent all have the same descriptions. All the groups pop up at the same time, right? And there's this loose connection back to DeVos, right? It could be loose. Who knows if it's DeVos?
The DeVos thing is really loose.
All right, so let's throw out the DeVos. We just know all these things pop up at the exact same time. They're registered to the same group or person.
Right, and they're all tapping into like local gun communities also.
Right. So they're going after the right-wing side. There's like, you should protect your rights to leave the house if you want, protect your freedom. Yeah. So all these protests pop up around the country, and then Trump retweets the people protesting, right?
Right. So he sees all the protests, and he's like, yo, liberate Michigan, liberate all these places.
Now, the easy connection is Trump has his people go tell these people to go leave their house because he wants to get the economy going, right? He's like, we need to get the economy going again. I can't force it open. The governors need to do it, right? So what we'll do is have the people start to protest, and then maybe the governors will acquiesce, like we saw what happened in Florida and we saw what happened in Virginia, right? And he'll go after his base in these places that will really do it. That's the easiest way. Now you had a point.
And beyond that, I believe he's done it once before. Trump, we've already know this. He paid people to come to his first rallies. Paid actors.
Interesting.
And then he says outlandish shit. And then he gets more media coverage. And then everybody's retweeting it because how can you say these things? How can you say these things? But he's reaching certain people who are kind of maybe would fuck with Trump. And now they have access to him where they never did before. And they're like, oh, actually, now that I'm seeing these messages bombarded over and over again on CNN, I kind of agree with this guy.
Honestly,
I'm going to vote for this guy.
Like my career. I pay my friends to come to my shows. Eventually, the messaging is good. Say some outlandish shit. People really like it. All of a sudden, these shows are packed.
He was just doing a bringer inauguration.
That's it, bro.
Yo.
But so here's the thing. Maybe it's Trump and it makes the most sense. Or maybe it's another group that wants America to be shut down for longer because they want people out there protesting, eventually getting the coronavirus, getting into the hospitals, more people die. American economy gets shut down for a longer period of time. And manipulating Trump into retweeting. The only reason I'm like, I can't get behind this and spread the news acting as if I know what's going on is because I don't want to be a fucking shill for China. or some other country that's trying to take America down right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think a CNN or one of these folks will just jump at the opportunity because they get to knock Trump and his supporters. The last thing I'm going to do is what China wants.